Why a big raise to Social Security benefits through the cost of living adjustment may not actually be the best thing in the world. I have all the details and what you need to know about this right here in the video. Let's get right into it. Alright, I do completely recognize that a lot of you right here in this community do receive some type of fixed income benefit, whether it's from Social Security retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, or SSI. And I also do recognize that a huge cost of living adjustment is very exciting. Don't get me wrong, I completely recognize that. However, at the same time, we also need to recognize that a big cost of living adjustment may not actually be the best thing in the world for a variety of reasons, which is exactly what I want to lay out for you right here in this video. However, before we go any further, I just want to make it very clear, I completely recognize and I certainly want every single one of you to get a massive raise to your monthly benefits, especially for any of you who have a benefit below the federal poverty line, which is $1,132 each and every month. If your benefit is below that, I think that everybody should be brought up to that benefit as a minimum, and then of course we can talk about a much larger raise on top of that. But I do specifically want to talk about the annual cost of living adjustment and why a big one may not be actually the best thing in the world. There's a variety of reasons behind this, so let's work our way through these one at a time. But first off, really quickly, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video. I am your one and only daily advocate, and I'm very much dedicated to you and this community to continue doing all the research, breaking it down into these short videos, and making sure that you're staying updated with everything going on right now during this very busy time, as information is changing very rapidly, headlines are changing every single day, and as I've always said, anytime that money, benefits, programs, checks, stimulus, or anything else pops up that you can take advantage of as a low income, a no income, a fixed income, senior, older adult, or person with disabilities, I want to make sure that I'm helping you out in any way that I possibly can. Grab as much as you possibly have coming due. Like I've said before, grab your piece of the pie. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into this update. All right, so as I did say, there are a variety of different reasons why a massive cost of living adjustment may actually unfortunately have some negative implications. So let me talk you through a variety of these different reasons right now. All right, so reason number one is when you do get a raise to your monthly benefit, it does effectively raise your income. As a result of raising your income, there's actually a variety of reasons under this that may actually be not exactly the desired results. Reason number one would be, in the event that this raises your benefit so much or your income just enough, it may actually bump you into a higher tax bracket, or it may even bump your income into the threshold of where all of a sudden now you got to start paying taxes because your income is above and beyond the thresholds of what would otherwise be eliminated as a result of the standard deduction. Therefore, you may need to start paying some taxes on your monthly benefit. That's not fun, right? So in a time right now when people are struggling with not enough money and not enough food on the table and not enough everything out there right now, all of a sudden a massive cost of living adjustment, which looks really good because it's going to result in more money in your pocket every single month, means that, now your income has increased, which, don't get me wrong, that's a great thing. Congratulations. But at the end of the day, it may actually bump you into a taxable bracket and an even higher taxable bracket if that may be your case. Now, at the same time, we also recognize this as well. As your income goes up, that means that your potential for extra benefits, as in possibly SNAP benefits, otherwise known as Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, some people call it food stamps, may actually be reduced. Or if your income falls into the threshold where you're above the threshold of what is actually eligible to receive these benefits, they may actually come out and say, I'm sorry, your income is above the threshold. You no longer qualify for monthly benefits. Again, not a good situation. So on one hand, you get a little bit of a raise as a result of the cost of living adjustment. And number two, they may take away some of your other benefits, as in reduce them and or completely remove them because now your income is above the thresholds in which make you eligible for these benefits. Now, the same thing goes with other benefits like utility assistance, housing assistance, food assistance of other programs. There's all kinds of different programs out there right here, right now that are available to the low income and fixed income. However, Generally, they use income thresholds to determine your eligibility, and a lot of time those income thresholds are pegged against the federal poverty line. So, again, just a little bump in your benefit could put you into that category where you're getting some benefits now, and all of a sudden they may say, I'm sorry, your income has now gone up to the point where you are over the limit and you no longer qualify. So these are some of the reasons. Now, let's quickly talk about Medicare for just a second here. Now, I know that everybody here in the community does not necessarily have Medicare, but let's just quickly talk about this because this is another very important reason that we need to add to the tallies here. So, as we do recognize, when the cost of living adjustment goes up substantially, it's based on inflation, right? Now, this is actually another point here that I wanted to point out as well. The annual cost of living adjustment is pegged off of real inflation, or let me take that back. Inflation. Whether it's real inflation, are they actually pegging it to the real inflation? Again, that's up for debate. But they're pegging it off of inflation, whatever metrics that they use, and hopefully they actually keep up with the real inflation. But the fact of the matter is, it is pegged to inflation. So if we get a massive cost of living adjustment, which it looks like it's probably going to be around 8.5% for 2023, in the event that that does happen, then here's the thing. That just means that inflation is significantly higher because that has what determined the cost of living adjustment for that actual year, right? So a big COLA means good, more money, but it also means that inflation is also very, very high, right? So that's one thing that we need to take into consideration as well. Next, like I said, we were going to talk about Medicare for a second. So let's go back to that and talk about Medicare for a second. Again, as the cost of living adjustment is pegged off of inflation, we also recognize that Medicare Part B premiums need to adjust accordingly as well. Well, conveniently, they also adjust their benefit and their premium based on, other factors that are going on out there right now as well, right? Healthcare cost, actual costs to get, checkups and all kinds of things like this, the different premiums that are going on. So as a result of that, if inflation is running hot, payrolls are running high, right? Everybody's looking for more compensation. At the same time, then Medicare Part B premiums are likely going to adjust significantly higher as well. Once again, digging into your cost of living adjustment. Now, sometimes, the COLA comes out and then they might raise Medicare Part B premiums a certain amount. And then you see the reports that come out and say, well, the COLA is accounting for the Medicare premium. Yeah, but what about all of the other costs of living, like, groceries, rent, utilities, car insurance, gas for your car, clothing, shoes, literally everything. What about all that? All of that has also gone up in price. So at the end of the day, the cost of living adjustment is more than just an adjustment for the Medicare Part B premium. But these days lately, it seems like that's kind of all it's been doing lately, right? But anyway, that's also something that we need to take into consideration. So there's many, many different moving parts here for why a massive cost of living adjustment is good, but at the same time, it may not actually be the best thing ever. Now, one more thing that I want to throw out as well is the insolvency issue. Now, again, I know we talked about this before, but let me lay this out for you. As of right now, it looks like the Social Security Trust Fund will be completely insolvent, in other words, depleted, by around 2033 or around there, give or take a year or two based on everything going on. But the latest reports are showing around 2033 is when the Social Security Trust Fund would be depleted, as in fresh out of cash, right? Done. Out of cash. It does not mean the benefits would end, but it just means that the trust fund would be depleted. Therefore, they would only be able to pay out about 78% of promised benefits, according to the reports. That means it would result in an immediate 22% reduction in benefits pretty much immediately. But here's the thing. If we get a massive cost of living adjustment, again, raising benefits, it just means that it's more money being pulled out of the trust fund every single month for every single beneficiary. So essentially, the hole in the bottom of the boat has just gotten a little bit bigger, right? So it's draining a little bit faster, right? So it's essentially that's what's happening, is all of a sudden, if a big cost of living adjustment comes in, all of a sudden, the trust fund that was depleted, the trust fund that was depleting already rapidly and already going to be insolvent here in a matter of just years, now all of a sudden it's depleting even faster because of an even bigger cost of living adjustment that has come in and starting to drain that trust fund faster and faster, right? So Also, something else on my list. Again, as you can see here, a variety of different reasons for why the cost of living adjustment that's big is a good thing, but at the end of the day, it's maybe, kind of a tough situation. It's kind of that one thing where it's like, it's a positive, but at the end of the day, it's like, oh, it's good now, but the long-term effects of this are actually going to be way more severe. Yeah, So anyway, one more thing that I want to throw out there as well, and this doesn't really have anything to do with the cost of living adjustment, but rather this is more about everything going on as of recently, including the whole COVID situation. A lot of people, when COVID came around, a lot of people who were very close to retirement started throwing in the towel and saying, I'm done with it. I'm done. I don't need to work anymore. I don't want to work anymore. I'm at the age now where I can start collecting my Social Security benefits. Maybe I'll just be done and start collecting my benefits. So we started to see a massive surge of people starting to retire and start drawing on Social Security benefits. So again, this is going to start drawing down the trust funds maybe even a little bit faster. But either way, I want to throw this out there as well. If somebody is reaching the retirement age where they can start drawing on Social Security, by all means, if you're there, the money's been there. You've been paying in for years and years and years, decades that you've probably been paying in through Social Security taxes. By all means, if that's your case, you got to do what's best for you. But you put in the time, you put in all the money, you paid all the taxes, therefore the trust fund and your benefits are waiting there for you. By all means, grab what you got coming to you, right? So anyway, of course, I'm not going to advise you there. That is totally up to you. I cannot tell you what to do simply because I don't know your situation, and therefore I don't want to be responsible for that. But my point is, if you're in the situation where you can start claiming Social Security benefits, by all means, you got to do what's best for you. And you might want to start drawing on your benefit. But again, you got to assess your own situation and figure that out on your own. I don't know that for you. But anyway, some people here over the last couple of years have been thrown in and just saying, I'm going to retire. I don't need to do this anymore. The whole COVID thing, it gives me a great reason to hang up the working shoes and say, I'm done. Put in all that time. I'm going to start collecting my benefit and start to relax a little bit, slow down, and enjoy my life, right? Rather than the constant hustle of the 5 to 9 grind, 5 days a week, whatever people do these days, right? So anyway, these are some of the reasons. Of course, there are many more reasons for why a massive cost of living adjustment is actually a really good thing. But at the end of the day, it does have some other consequences that we do need to possibly look at. So anyway, hope this video helps you out to kind of better understand the whole situation around the cost of living adjustment and kind of some of the things that we need to keep an eye on going forward. Anyway, hope this video helps you out. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other 2,500 videos right here on the channel. Thanks again. I appreciate it. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.